stories high. Breathing fire, his head in the sky. Godzilla, 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 and Godzuki.
All right, welcome to Reel It In, a review show for movies where we decide if a movie is worth reeling in or tossing back. And tonight's movie is Godzilla. Godzilla. For us Americans. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves. Thaddeus and I work on God Complex.
I'm Eric. I play Sendo on Now Reloading.
Tatsuyan, teacher of League of Legends, or Lessons.
I'm Anthony. I also work on God Complex.
So yeah, we're doing Godzilla for our second episode of Reel It In. James over here has...
I have not watched the movie yet, so I guess I'm just going to listen to them talk and ask questions, see if I want to see it or not myself. So I'll be with you guys on this one.
We're gonna do like try to be spoiler free, you know. Here, there's only
as far as like main points.
There's only one major spoiler in this movie. And we're gonna dance around that.
There's
as
like
much
one
as we
major
can.
spoiler, and then just like
You're lying. There are
just, like,
many spoilers.
and then just like hype points.
So we're gonna.
You know what? I'm done talking to you, Thad. We're going to talk. I want to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you about
the
this.
spoiler
Okay,
involves that
anyways,
character.
Bryan Cranston, fucking awesome.
He is awesome in this movie, but we're gonna get to that. So basically, at the end of the segment, James is gonna say if he'd go see this movie or not, based on our review for it. So we're gonna start with Sindo like we always do. How'd you feel about it? That pretty much sums it up, I guess.
I wanted this movie to be so good. Part of me needed this movie to be like the best movie of the summer,
That's convincing to me.
but it wasn't.
I know.
It was like sadly just pretty mediocre. Like as a movie itself, it's pretty competent, but like as a Godzilla movie, it just bums me out.
How come?
Well, we'll get to that. This is just
that's
main
true.
thoughts,
That's
Anthony.
true. Well, I was really I was
Okay.
curious there.
So I want to preface this by saying I am an enormously huge Godzilla fan.
Yeah.
I'd like to say we all really like Godzilla,
Well, we're-
except
was,
James.
He was a
I'm alright with
huge facet of my childhood.
Well, where I was a Spider-Man guy last episode, Anthony's kind of the Godzilla
I'm
guy.
the
Yeah.
Godzilla guy.
Just like Spider-Man, everyone likes him, but we have the guy.
Since Comic-Con of 2012, when they announced this movie was going to be made, Legendary Pictures was going to be working on it, I've been hyped for this fucking thing. I have like fucking scoured the internet for all the information I could. I have wanted so desperately, so badly, needed this movie to be the fucking just like the second coming of the man himself. And like, while it isn't the movie I wanted to get, not anywhere close to what the marketing promised. Fuck it, I like this movie.
That's fine.
How do you feel, Thad? You seem to enjoy it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Fucking goober.
Okay.
That's more shot we'll have to cut out, thank you.
Okay, so with Godzilla, I was completely underwhelmed. Now, I'm going to preface after his preface by saying that I'm
You're going to sleep to Godzilla, right?
I go to sleep to
We
Godzilla
all
every night, but we
do.
can't talk about that.
Thank you, James Rolfe. That's all we're going to say.
Yeah, that's a great man.
Shout outs to him. He's the best.
As far as
Best.
I'm just as big of a nerd, geek, whatever you want to call it, social outcast, like urchin at the bottom of society's boot, whatever you want to call us. I'm one of those just like everyone else here, but I tend to look for something different when I go to media. Like when I go to watch a Godzilla movie, a Godzilla movie, I'm gonna want something more. I'm gonna want a legitimately good movie from it. And that's what the trailers led me to believe I was going to get. I was going to get a Godzilla that was mature, a Godzilla that was important, a Godzilla that was great. A movie that just wasn't about two monsters fighting. That wasn't just about a lot of set pieces set up just to be destroyed. I thought I was going to get some real good character motivation, a really good human element going on in this movie. I thought I was going to get the best of both worlds. A summer blockbuster that felt important, and I just didn't. I got the most middling, mediocre pile of schmuck that I could have ever gotten in this summer at all. And I'm also going to put myself on a limb here by being the one nerd in the world who did not like Pacific Rim and going into this movie, I kind of wanted, what I thought was missing from Pacific Rim was fulfilled in this movie in a weird way. But I feel like if these movies combine the best parts of themselves into one movie, that would be a good movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just felt like where I was hoping, like going up to the movie, Anthony can even say, going up to the movie, I was like, a Godzilla movie can't work without the human portion. The human portion's got to be the thing, And I was just like completely being like an asshole about like the human element has to be sold, and the whole movie's gonna be humans.
The thing about that is, again, huge Bryan Cranston fan, so I'm like,
There's
going to be a human element. It's going to be fucking
can
great.
make-
And I was ready
He
for
provides
it.
a really.
I'm like, they got him too. Dear God, this movie actually may be fucking a good movie.
Ken Watanabe and Bryan Cranston provide
And then
an
that-
amazing
yeah.
human
And then
element.
that
Best
fucking
thing about
marketing,
But-
that goddamn marketing, which promised me the fucking world, and just
Exactly.
Coming back to our Tassim video, how I said the marketing for just movies in general and trailers this summer have been goddamn terrible and the most misleading fucking malarkey and bullshit I've ever seen in my entire life. Like this is like the summer of lies for me. Like trailers just lie outright. They promise a movie you do not get.
But yeah, just about Godzilla, it's sort of like I was really hoping for a strong human element, and for a moment I got that. I went there and Bryan Cranston did his thing and Ken Watanabe did his thing, and I was really involved. And then the movie takes a turn. We'll not spoil it. And I was lulled into the decoy protagonist thing. And, you're given a character, you think that this is the character you're with, but that's really not who you're with. And the character we do get, the character we sit through, Ford, Aaron Johnson Taylor's character.
Can we kill him?
Maybe I should call him Suck Ass.
Oh! He may be one of the worst protagonist committed to film in recent memory.
He was
like
super sad.
For me, he's right up there
so
with Riley.
bland.
People might not dislike Riley from
No.
Pacific Rim,
I'll put Riley way above this nerd.
but I really, really do not like Ford.
Oh my
Riley
God!
was-
Like,
Ford is so garbage.
Riley-
He's the main character, right?
Yeah, Riley
the
was
white
okay.
guy.
What else
He
was
was
this guy in?
See, this is the thing.
He was in Kick-Ass.
Riley was super
He was in
okay.
Savages. He was in
He sucks in
Anna
Savages,
Karenina.
That's right. And what else was he in?
He was also in Anna Karenina, which he was not very good in.
I think Riley was okay compared to everyone else.
No, definitely. Riley's like
in
perfectly
Pacific
fine
Rim.
as white protagonist.
Yeah, Riley was.
But he's still just a white protagonist.
Riley-
But he wasn't-
He's a good one.
He wasn't super bland.
No, exactly.
Like you
Aaron-
can actually
like
sympathize
Ford.
with him.
Ford is like terrible.
Just like go back to
Like
your
Breaking
generation.
Bad, you're awesome, but
what
I
you're
don't care
saying
about
is
your
that the main
kid.
character for Godzilla was just basically not good.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
I
was.
care about
he
Breaking
was.
Bad's kid, just the
he
one with
was.
fucking
He
MS.
was extremely like just flat. He was flat as a board. He was just like
Stop messing
serious,
around,
stoic. He was just boring, just completely boring. He was emotionless, and then they want us to be involved in his sort of subplot, which was about getting back to his like
And they-
very boring wife and his very boring kid.
No, the
Getting
kid was cute.
in
He
a
was,
very
like,
boring
stupid.
stock kid kind of way.
It sounds like
It was better than Short Round.
Sounds
Hey.
like
Hey,
Sounds
no,
like
I
that
mean
kid
I
was
don't mean
just-
Short Round.
Oh, you
I
mean
mean
Short
the
Round in this
random
movie.
Asian kid that this guy decides I need to take you under my wing for
Because
10, 15
I
minutes.
also have a little child.
So
And this
come-
will show that I care about children because I am a father.
Sounds like a situation that was similar to Final Fantasy
What?
12, where Van was kind of like the decoy protagonist.
Yeah, we're giving a protagonist just because it'll
That is
appeal
a
more to
specific fault.
more to a mass market. Yeah,
very
we're giving.
specific
It's true. It's true though. We're giving
yeah.
we're giving Ford because he's a handsome Caucasian heterosexual male lead that just works. That's
Yeah.
Who is also a military.
I was about to say who was in the military.
America.
It's like
I love the truth.
I hate to reference this, but the Transformers movie, people hate Sam Witwicky.
I would take Sam
And there's-
Witwicky over this.
The thing about Sam
motherfucker.
Witwicky
At
is
least
at
Sam
least you can
Witwicky
have
is a character.
At
At
least
least
he's
I
a
can laugh at
character.
that guy.
As
It's like
bad
you'd
of
be
a
like,
character
what a
as he
nerd.
is, and as bad as those movies are, Sam Witwicky has like defining character traits. Ford just does not have that. Like
He
Ford
a-
is just.
He is not a character. He's a fucking template.
He is honestly the worst. He is a character. Yes, he's a character profile no one has filled in anything but the name, the age, and the race.
Like, you know who should have played Ford? Marky Mark.
Probably, yeah.
Too
Then he'd
old.
be like, "Check it
I don't
out, guys!
care.
I found a Godzilla. I think we just found a Godzilla. That would have been
Guys,
cool.
I think we just found a kaiju.
Yeah, I would have watched that movie. But
Charlie
yeah,
Day comes rain. You found what?
that we're all in agreement that Ford is the worst thing
Ford
about
is
the movie.
terrible.
Ford is the main reason this movie sucks.
Now,
There are other reasons this movie sucks, and we'll get into that. But let's go with some good for
Yeah, I was
now.
about to ask, what are some good points in the movies that you guys really enjoyed?
okay, because
I hate
this
saying this movie sucks too because it looked like it was going to be so
This movie-
good.
I just wanna say-
marketing was amazing.
It looks amazing.
okay, so if we're gonna go good, yeah, that it looks amazing
It
and
looks
we're
so
there we go.
good.
Yeah, the movie looks great.
Godzilla himself. Oh, right. I just realized this this is a Godzilla review. We haven't talked about Godzilla yet.
You wanna know
Weird.
why?
It's almost like our review reflects the movie slightly.
Oh, no, he's an afterthought. And we're going to treat him like the afterthought the movie treats him. And we're going to talk about Godzilla last. For like the last
So let's
2
talk
minutes
about
of
the
this
character that's
movie.
way more important and has more screen time than Godzilla.
Oh, wait, no.
Muto.
No. Godzilla, let's change the subject right now. There's your little taste of Godzilla.
Oh, yeah. Cut
Moving
to
on
the
to
next
the-
thing.
Sorry, we were about to talk about Godzilla. Now we got to move on to talking about Muto.
No, we gotta talk
Not
about
seeing
Ford again.
Muto,
We gotta talk
talking
about
about
Ford again.
We already talked about Ford.
No, but the thing
I
is,
get it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Muto. Muto, like, there's not much to say. He's a kaiju, but he's an American-made kaiju, and as far as kaiju goes, he's pretty solid.
Yeah, he's
pretty
well
cool
designed.
kaiju.
I was like
well,
worried
he
because
ain't me.
all I had seen about there's 2 Mutos. One's flying in male, and the other's like way bigger in female.
Also,
And their plot is to pump and make
yeah,
more
but also,
through radioactive ways. But the problem is, I had seen like a toy of one first, and I guess it was
Yeah, I
just a
showed
shitty
you
toy
that, right?
because it literally looked like you took Cloverfield, made him less interesting looking, and just spray printed in black and red.
Well, yeah, the color scheme, like those toys were not detailed. I
But yeah.
apologize for showing you for that because I feel like I gave you a very bad.
You like made
impression.
me like, oh fuck Muto,
No.
and then the second I saw that man on screen, I'm like, he may hang with the best of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Muto
but
is
no,
cool.
No, but
You may stand next to Destroyer and
back to
Ghidorah.
what the angle they were taking with the kaiju in this film, trying to make them like real animals. Just like small, even design aesthetic wise things like the sexual dimorphism between the male and the female, where the female is much
that's cool.
larger. Like that, like reflects like insects and like just like real life animals where that's the
Yeah.
case, and that was like interesting.
Yeah, Becky totally got a kick out of that too. I also noted that. I was like, that's really interesting.
That's a
cool.
really nice touch. That's actually, these people did the research.
Yeah.
But that's
They
pretty
did
much
the
all you can
research
really
on
say
bears.
about Muto is that Muto's cool.
Muto is really cool and
Muto
is
got that bitch
a
a
villain.
warhead. Bitches love warheads.
Yep.
But yeah, so I guess.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about a little bit more about the good for a second.
Oh.
And then fine, guys.
Oh!
The movie is made on a really cheap budget of $160 million. That's a lot of
Really?
money.
That's a lot
but
of
that's
movies.
cheap
But
now.
that's not a lot for a movie.
It's cheap for a movie of the scale they were trying to make this.
Yeah, and they made it look good for that $160 million. Pretty sure
that
that
was
That's
fucking
good to
top
hear.
notch.
The monsters look really
Yeah, they
good.
did not like spare expense.
They'll
for
never
it.
be dudes in suits, but they look really
They-
good.
They didn't cut corners.
There's just a
where
certain
they-
charm to that to me.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
say the same thing about turtles. Dudes in suits will just have more charm to me. You can look better, it just won't be as charming.
But I guess we can now talk about Godzilla,
My
the afterthought
bad.
in this movie. First, let me start by saying the title of the movie would be far more understanding to me. Like I'd be okay with it if
Oh,
it was
yeah.
called Muto, or if it was called Godzilla versus Muto, if it was called Muto Ford Godzilla, something else. It just can't be called
Muto Ford
Godzilla,
Like-
because that's not what this
Like-
Because
movie
it's
is.
it's
Yeah,
being so
but-
ballsy in itself, just saying Godzilla, the
Yeah.
one and
No, no, no,
only.
no. But the thing is, like, we knew going into this, like, because of how all the information released, there were going to be other monsters in this movie. Godzilla was going to fight other monsters.
Right.
But I almost thought we were getting a reimagining of the original Godzilla film mixed with Godzilla Raids Again, the second film, where he fought Anguirus, where it's like a dark,
Oh,
gritty
God,
tone.
Anguirus.
But oh shit, there's another one. They're going to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
Which
you know?
sounded really good. It's like, oh, a good American-made movie, but it's also a kaiju fight. That sounds solid.
And it's not just any kaiju
How
fight.
was
It is
the,
the kaiju fight. It is Godzilla.
How would you say the fight with Godzilla went?
Oh, the
Since-
fight
since
was
you guys.
The
the
parts
fight
you
was
saw.
cool for the 2 minutes it lasted.
Yeah, the fights are definitely cheerworthy. Cheerworthy, and I say cheerworthy as in if you are just going to cheer for awesome things happening, you're going to cheer for this. I cheered because the rest of the audience was cheering,
And
but
just-
it almost felt like at this point in time it wasn't worth it because we waited so long for
Right.
this to happen. It's
It
just kind of
was
like
really- it
it
was-
felt like we needed to cheer.
Like, you get
because,
teased for 20 minutes for 2 seconds.
it's just too
But
much teasing.
Can we just say, because it's like a clip online, but when he, like, his first reveal where he just comes, like, Muto's destroying the airport, he knocks the helicopter out of the air, you get that shot of the people in the airport, you see the outside of the airport, helicopter goes flying through the fucking planes, the planes start exploding, and everybody's screaming, and you just see that foot come down.
And then Godzilla just rolls up on it.
And no!
And they have this.
No. It's not even that. People are panicking, that foot comes down, everybody just falls silent in awe. And I got fucking
And then
chills.
these-
I'm like, oh!
It's like awesome. They're on screen at the same time. They have a stare down. They're about to go at each other, and cut to Ford's stupid kid watching it on the news.
Which was
It was funny if it would have cut back to the fight.
Exactly.
But no, when it cuts back to Hawaii, the scene is over.
Now I'm gonna do the same thing I did with Tassim before we get the problem of people maybe saying, oh well, this isn't true to the source material. This isn't true to that.
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
people
yeah.
argue, well, in other Godzilla movies, Godzilla is not the big portion of the movie.
You gotta
all this human
watch
stuff.
3 hours
And
of
he's-
humans before you see him
that's
fight.
true. That may be true.
But-
when he finally shows the focus is on him. When he finally makes his appearance, the focus of the movie shifts to him, like it should. I was actually surprised by this. I don't know if that decision and the misstep ultimately falls to David S. Goyer, who wrote the film, or Gareth Edwards, who I'm very shocked that this was the result, because I think he took a little too much from Monsters, which I think he was just trying to recapture what he
Make
did with
Monsters, but
you
Godzilla.
gotta remember, Monsters was a found footage film. He was going to have a minimalism thing, but Monsters was more of a horror film. This is a kaiju fight film. You can't do the same thing you do. He was I don't know what he was trying to do. I think he was just.
He was going for a slow burn, which
Which he overcooked it.
Yeah, say what you will about Pacific Rim. Stuff happened in that movie, and we got to watch that stuff happen.
And it was satisfying.
And it looked awesome.
You make the argument the fights were a little slow, but I think you were just coming off the high of Man of Steel, like you've said before. But when something got hit, you felt that hit.
Yeah.
You felt that impact. You're just ooh, it reverbed through the fucking theaters. Those speakers just boom. And you're just yeah, that was a solid hit. That was fun to watch. I felt that. But with
Godzilla has some great moments. It's just the
it
problem
does.
is that
It's just there's 2 of them.
The slow burn, the Jaws type build-up that they try to go for just doesn't work when you don't care about the other elements.
Also, it's not just that. They undermine that by that complete tonal shift at the end and the characterization of Godzilla.
Right.
I wanted to take a moment to talk about the characterization of Godzilla.
That's so
because
funny.
I formed hard theories on how I thought the plot was structured based on the trailers.
And
that
I
really
was
nerdy
thinking
thing, where you watch all the trailers and you sort of put them together. And you're okay. I thought it was sort of a mistaken identity type of plot. Muto was destroying stuff, and everybody thought it was Godzilla. So when Godzilla finally does come out to do stuff, they all take it to him. The army goes. I'm thinking, this is the guy who's been fucking us up. But no, Godzilla's I don't care about the army. I'm gonna fight Muto, who's actually been doing this, and then they would fight you. That way.
Really cool lines I don't know what is he doing. It looks like he's looking for something.
Yeah, exactly. Godzilla could have been.
Ken Watanabe. I know what he's looking for.
Yeah, you could have had Godzilla truly be neutral as he's supposed to be, instead of this weird savior that.
They literally made him the nicest guy on the planet.
There were also the clips of. They released clips a week before the movie, the one clip where they're describing Muto and it's the military, and they have a fucking military acronym for it, which makes the implication seem especially with the trailers, that maybe mankind made Muto from experiments with Godzilla shit, and then Godzilla's just coming to clean up the mess, and that's where let them fight, just okay, let nature clean up the mess.
I had an interesting conversation with someone about the themes, the motifs, the overall arcing message of Godzilla. You go back to the 1954 one. By now, everyone knows what that is what that movie is about, actually. It's sure, it's a monster destroying things, but we all know
it's an allegory for
an allegorical
Holocaust
film.
And the arrogance of man, and just how we could eventually destroy ourselves through
it's a stand-in for Hiroshima, and that's why I think Godzilla stands the test of time.
It's one of the great films.
But then we have this movie, and this guy tried to say, well, it's clear as day what the message of the movie is. Ken Watanabe says it, the arrogance of man.
Oh my god,
yada,
that's
yada.
But it's such a good line, but it makes no sense in the context of the movie.
It doesn't have any impact because it's not the case.
Yeah, that's not the case. If they had been man-made, then you would have not only been doing the arrogance of man, because we were arrogant enough to think that we could create a kaiju, to create a god, and then you also get another message about nuclear deterrence. You get something in there we created a Godzilla type thing to fight other Godzillas. Well, at the end of that just destroys us.
They could have just created
because
with other nations. It's the U.S. It's we got the big guns. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. They basically missed the chance to send a really powerful message. Instead, they just want to
warfare and just wartime mentality.
The movie just wants to sound
but instead
than
Godzilla's
really
Superman.
Yeah, he does save more
nicer.
people than Superman.
Superman with better
and he
morals.
kills less people too.
Yeah.
And destroys less buildings. A building does more damage to him than he does.
Oh my god, that's the saddest thing ever.
But as much as we're ragging on the movie, we did want it to be awesome. None of us went in there wanting Godzilla to not be a great time.
It wasn't as awesome as I wanted it to be, but I still love the fuck out of it just because I love Godzilla. My personal bias just overrid everything negative about that.
It sounds like in comparison to Pacific Rim, the characters a little bit. I believe the side characters.
The main character of the movie should have been a side character, but the plot finds ways to make him a necessity throughout the entire plot.
Whereas side characters should have definitely been the main characters.
There's a pivotal point in the climax where the movie no longer needs him, but the writers find a way to, as I like to say, hot potato it so that he stays a part of the plot, even though he does not need to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just get the fuck out of my face, please, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Go back and get your ass.
So I guess now we'll assign scores, and then we'll ask James if, based off what we have said, if he thinks it's worth saying.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Is it a reel in or a throw it back?
I don't want to reel this movie in for it. I want to reel it in for myself because I do say go see the movie, decide for yourself. Because that way they can probably make a sequel and make it not suck.
Well,
Not that this movie sucks. Not that this movie sucks.
A lot of things
but,
are confirmed for sequels.
Yeah.
Let's just say Amazing Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 4, things get confirmed, and never always.
I'm just saying, if this movie does well, we can see a better version of it, which it's like so close.
Yeah, it is.
It just
close.
misses several key marks barely.
Just don't sign, or sign a better actor to play your lead instead of Taylor.
Also, pacing issues, just like some characterization, like just importance of certain characters.
Like I don't want to say minor flaws.
Very
they are
major
blatant.
flaws.
They are major.
But they are easily fixable. Like I remember what I said the other day. Like, hey, want to know how to make Ford immediately more compelling? Instead of Bryan Cranston's white heterosexual son, why not his white heterosexual daughter? Already more like exact same script, but he's female
and interesting.
It's already more compelling just because you never see that. Like that'd be so easy.
It's quick fixes. So you're gonna give it a hesitant reel in.
Reel
in if you're a kaiju fan, maybe.
I will reel it in because I really like kaiju movies and I need to see more of them. Same reason why I would reel in Pacific Rim. That movie has problems, but I enjoy it.
I like how this is kind of also a review for Pacific Rim
because they're pretty much they're like two halves of the same whole.
Coming back to the problems really quick, like so blatant, like you're squirming in your seat uncomfortably at how blatant these like.
I was like,
it's just like.
Every time you think it's not going to cut away from Godzilla, it does.
You're just like, don't do. Oh, you did it again. No, I
so,
want that, man.
So, Mr. Godzilla, is that a reel in or a throwback for you?
I'm going to again, like personally, reel it in. For myself, reel it in. But if I'm going to recommend this film to another person, I'm going to preface it with this: do not watch any of the trailers. Go into that movie clean. And just be ready for the long haul before you get any Godzilla action. And also, just try to ignore Taylor Johnson.
But hey, if you like the military, you might like this movie.
Yeah, if you're a Republican or a red blood.
Hey now, watch it.
Watch it.
We're not that kind of show.
So, for me though, I was ready to give this movie a reel in. Just, in the same hesitant kind of like, you can kind of reel it in.
I just want this.
As everyone, I'm actually going to say throw it back for this one.
That's fair.
That's fair. I'm not, like, as much as I
that's
say
fair.
that.
It's mostly like, it's a throw it back to the point where I think that eventually you could see it's a movie you can see. It's not a movie you have to see right now.
You're right.
Go see it like second run theater or rented.
Right.
Don't rush out.
I feel like the perfect example of like how we feel about this movie is we all wanted to see it again just to try the taste again, but none of us wanted to sit through it again.
But again, in that same token, now that we know how the movie is paced and we know when Godzilla.
This coming from people who watch Man of Steel like what 4 or 5 times.
Oh
like,
boy.
Fuck.
Yeah, well, let me put it this way though. I've had some time to think about this. Now that we know exactly how that movie is paced, and we're not just waiting for the payoff of Godzilla, we know when he'll come about.
I know,
that movie I think will be more bearable.
But it'll be a slog.
All I have to say is that movie is shorter than both X-Men Days of Future Past and TASM, and it felt a lot longer.
Yeah.
So anyway, at the end we've got 2 reel-ins and 1 throwback, so that's kind of a, that's a reel it in.
It's like
that's
a building fucking falls on Godzilla, and
he's
the
like,
saddest
oh
thing
no,
ever. It was literally just like,
my body.
I just kicked your ass. Oh no.
So James, based off what we've just said,
out there, remember when you photoshopped him in front of it? Literally, that building fell on him. God damn it.
Anyways,
so
since I don't have to say reel it in or anything like that personally, I don't think I'd go out of my way to go see this movie. I'd see it at like a friend's house maybe.
All right.
I wouldn't pay for the movie.
That makes sense.
From the way that you guys.
That's good advice.
As much as I want this movie to succeed, I can't be like, no, you have to fucking go buy a ticket so this movie does well.
Yeah, it doesn't seem. I mean, I like Godzilla. Like I've never been against Godzilla, and I find it informative. It can be you can find it informative, I guess. Or I don't know the exact word I'm trying to look for there, but it can also be really fun and stuff like that. But you guys make it seem like it's just not that.
It just missed the mark.
It's just
It's just sad because
It's
So
just
I don't know.
kinda sad.
I'd probably watch it if it was like on screen, but I would not pay for it. Simple as that.
fair enough.
Fair.
Alright.
So yeah, that's
me.
that's us for Godzilla. You can catch us next time for X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Oh boy.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Looking forward. All right.